Hi, my name is Andrew. I work at HFS London.
And my name is Anthony, also at HFS London.
We are a student homestay accommodation agency working with language schools to provide host families for their students. The main thing that a student should expect really is to land in a home from home environment. So it's to be treated as a member of the family as opposed to a paying guest.
All over London, zones 1 to 4 of London, so that you have different profiles of homestays in the different areas. So for example, more central located zones 1 and 2 might get smaller properties. When you go further to the suburbs, zones 3 and 4, more houses typically, larger properties. Also as well, the profile of the host changes slightly. So again, maybe your more centrally located homestay. Again, if you think about central London, it's expensive. There's a lot of commercial properties around, less residential properties. So maybe you might get more working professionals, single people or couples, again working, not as many families. In zones 3 and 4, so out in the suburbs, whether you've got larger properties, you get more families. I think that the shift as well it changes from maybe centrally located, it's all about being close to your school and then the experience you get that comes with that, versus being out in the suburbs. The homestay experience, you might be on half board, which is the breakfast and dinner package, because the hosts are cooking for their kids anyway, so to put on another plate for a student is relatively easy to do. So you get more kind of time maybe with the family. The houses are bigger, the rooms are bigger, more green, less congested, less polluted than central London. So it really does depend for the student, depends on what their wants and their priorities are.
Basically, the rooms break down into single or twin as the baseline. We do have some triples and some quadruple rooms, mainly more used for group accommodation. The other options you might get are private bathroom. So if a student wants to have exclusive access to their own bathroom, we do have homestays that offer that as well. In terms of meal packages, you've got self-catering, bed and breakfast, and half board. Self-catering, as it sounds really, student has full access to the kitchen, prepare their own meals. They'll get a storage area where they can store their own food. Bed and breakfast is the accommodation plus a continental breakfast every day. With B&B though, there is limited access to the kitchen. So unlike with self-catering, you will unlikely be able to cook. So it tends to work better for short-term stays. Students that are here for maybe 1 or 2 weeks and think they're going to be out a lot generally tend to opt for B&B. And then there's the half board, which is the breakfast and the dinner. Again, with limited access to the kitchen. So if you really want to have access to cook, self-catering is your meal plan. If you want to be catered for, then you've got the option of B&B or half board.
So we find that half board is by far the most popular request from students, especially those that want the homestay experience, because that's when you're sitting around the table with the whole family and they're finding out about the day, so they're obviously improving and practicing their English, getting to know each other, talking about their families and their culture, sharing. And I think probably some of the best experiences and memories between a host and a student is often had around the dinner table.
Individual hosts will set their own house rules, especially if they've hosted for a while, based on their experiences. And as long as they all kind of are in line with British Council requirements and expectations, then generally it works fine. The student has a good idea of what to expect. Ideally on day 1, the host will sit down and run through this with the student. So yeah, we always recommend to hosts to set ground rules, talk to the students day 1, and not leave it, because sometimes students they don't know because they haven't been told. Things might be different culturally in their background. Misunderstandings come up as a result, and it can be quite problematic. Where it comes more into its own, I think, is the home from home experience, where you've got a host that is motivated for the right reasons to welcome an international short-term guest into their home and provide them with hopefully an experience that they will go home to their home country with really good memories of their time in London. I'd say that's probably the biggest benefit. Cultural immersion.
As you said about the home from home experience, and the great memories that hopefully students and our hosts can take away for many years. I mean, how many times we hear hosts saying that, I have been invited, 20 years.
My student's wedding in Brazil or something like
correct,
that.
Yeah.
We get that quite regularly.
Quite regularly, yeah. So it's amazing that, we feel that we're part of creating that, really. Long-term memories, long-term relationships and friendships. So it's really special, it's really rewarding.